For this lesson, students should picture themselves graduating from high school. Some students are not there yet, and others may have already done this in real life, so they should answer the questions in the simulator based on their wants or actual life decisions. The characters in the graphic novel are just finishing high school and deciding on their next steps: college, career, military, or gap year. Students will make lifestyle choices like whether to save money or go out with friends. They will find that by using problem-solving skills and circling back to their top priorities, they'll be able to choose what makes them the happiest. Lesson 1 is the baseline for many decisions, like where students will live and what kind of lifestyle they see themselves having. Students will have to make decisions about what is truly important to them. They'll see if they choose to go out with friends, they will not have a lot of money that week for school supplies. This shows that all decisions have immediate consequences. Not getting the book or calculator is a short-term impact, but what does that mean for them a month or two down the road? At this point, students have either decided to go to college and are finishing up their undergraduate degree, or have spent a few years working. Either way, they're starting to learn that day-to-day decisions are also financial decisions. Students will learn about student loans. This type of loan is often large and necessary to get into a desired career. This lesson focuses on debt of all kinds and helps students understand how to be responsible with debt. Students will be presented with the decision to take out loans, open credit cards, finance a car, etc. They will also be given tips on how to save and be proactive. Which route they take depends on how much debt they can tolerate and how financially responsible they are. Did they rent an apartment or buy a home? Did they buy a car or lease it? Students will begin to see the ripple effect created by earlier decisions. Are they in a career where they make enough money to support their desired lifestyle? Do they need to go to school or back to school to take their career to the next level? Have they gotten themselves into the habit of using a credit card and are starting to rack up the debt? These decisions will set them up for success or for a true struggle for the rest of their 20s and into their 30s. Students are in their mid-20s and facing very important decisions. What kind of career have they decided on pursuing? Who are they in relationships with? Where are they living? Students will be introduced to the concept of a budget and learn how to spend responsibly. They will learn that where and how they live is going to have a huge financial impact for them in the short term and the long term. Do they live in the city, suburbs, or country? How and where are they saving? Is it automated? Are they with a big-name bank or a local credit union? Students will see how important it is to get into a good career that pays well, or they may find themselves nearing their 30s living at home with their parents and taking public transportation. This might be a wake-up call, and it's intentional to show students that yes, there's still time to make changes, but if they want to live the kind of life they desire, there are certain choices that need to be made early in order to support it. Better Half is a fun and eye-opening lesson that not only explains to students that who they end up dating and ultimately marrying is a financial decision, but also helps them understand how important it is to talk about money with their significant other. Even in a society where people tend to be more open about personal information than in previous generations, money is still something that people often do not discuss. Relationships are important, and as much as love, attraction, and fun are part of romance, money is one of the leading factors of separation and divorce. Money Experience gives tips for proactive conversations and teaches how compromise and understanding are key to healthy partnerships. In Lesson 4, students will decide if they want to get married, how much they would want to spend on a wedding, and what kind of lifestyle they'd want to live with their partner. We help them think about how to combine two people's priorities, their spending habits, and bucket list goals. If students don't learn how to speak openly and honestly with others, especially a future partner or spouse, it will set them on a path of frustration and most likely damaged relationships. Family Matters is a pivotal lesson where students decide whether or not they want to start a family. Deciding to have children is often an emotional decision, but Money Experience helps students think about it in terms of the impact on their finances. In this lesson, students should imagine what their life might look like between the ages of 35 and 45. With children comes many other life decisions. Starting a family is an important turning point. Life is no longer just about you. Considering things like what type of childcare, housing, and savings plans will be appropriate for their family can be challenging. Also, choosing to help children pay for college can be something that sounds like a great idea until you consider you may also have to save for your own retirement while you're at it. Kids are expensive. That's no secret. Without properly planning and saving, bringing children into the world can take a real toll financially. Lesson 6, Crisis Alert, follows the money experience characters through a variety of life-changing experiences like losing a job, getting divorced, and investing in real estate. Some people are still dealing with their own student loans, and at this point may be taking on the student loans of their children's educations. They may be at a point where a career change or starting a business seems appealing. What does that look like financially? Would they be prepared to make that kind of switch if it meant taking a pay cut or having to provide their own benefits? Is it time to consider a career change? Have you hit a ceiling on earning potential? Maybe you'd like to start a business. Is it time to consider life insurance? Many times people start in one career path and end up staying there for a while, even if they're unhappy. Maybe they aren't making enough money, getting to spend enough time with family, or maybe they just are feeling unfulfilled. At the midlife point, people often consider what else is out there for them. Changing careers, taking risks with your money, or going through a relationship status change can all have drastic impacts on your emotional and financial health. Being aware of these types of potential life changes can help you prepare for the unexpected as much as possible. These wildcard life events reinforce the importance of saving and having an emergency fund. In Lesson 7, Take Stock, the money experience asks students to think about what their life might look like between the ages of 50 and 55. Kids grow up, hopefully move out, and now what do we do? Often, as people get closer to retirement, they start really focusing on how they are investing and if their money is working for them. People may look at other ways to invest. The time left in the workplace is coming to an end, and these last 10 to 15 years really need to count. If you decided to have a family, children may be grown up and starting families of their own. How do you balance work, family, and fun? Are you helping your children financially? Have you saved enough to retire comfortably? People often experience the feeling of an empty nest. Should you downsize and cash out? What will you do with that money? Invest? Buy a toy? Buy a vacation home? Check off more items off that bucket list? At this age, people are often feeling torn between wanting to save more for retirement and enjoy their late 50s, often considered the peak of earning and typically still having good health. In Lesson 8, Empty Nesting, money experience students try to imagine what their lives might look like between the ages of 55 and 65. Students witness the characters in the graphic novel facing challenges that force them to make impactful decisions. As Logan sees his business growing, Shane is struggling with his and may have to dip into his retirement account to keep up his lifestyle. At this stage of life, selling the family home, welcoming grandchildren, and even losing loved ones to old age are all common experiences. In the back of everyone's mind is retirement planning and trying to find the balance between working long enough to save, but retiring early enough to enjoy everything you've worked so hard for. Where's your next egg? Is it in real estate? Might it be time to sell? If you got an inheritance, what would you do with it? How well are you sustaining your lifestyle? Have you seen your expenses increase over the years as your income went up? How long can you afford your same quality of life after you stop working? At this age, people are feeling the pressure of nearing retirement, but typically still have several years left to work. In addition to financial stress, many drastic life changes occur. Your children could have children, and perhaps you're saying goodbye to your parents or older members of the family. There's a lot of pressure to make the right decisions in these last few years of your career in order to ensure a successful and hopefully enjoyable retirement. In Lesson 9, Time to Retire, we ask students to consider what their life might look like when they're over the age of 65. We see the characters step off into retirement in many different ways. Some retire modestly while relying on a pension, and others have to sell businesses or pass them on to other members of the family in order to create a nest egg. Along with the financial implications of aging, students learn of the health-related challenges that may face them as they get older. Taking healthcare costs into consideration, as well as what you may want to leave behind for family or charity, we must find a balance between what we're spending during retirement and what we're still able to save. What kind of lifestyle do you want to have after you're done working? Is it full of leisure and luxury, or philanthropy, or volunteering? What's your style? How do you picture spending your free time? Will you be someone who continues to work part-time, or maybe as a consultant? As money experience comes to an end, it opens doors for more conversations about money and leaves students feeling empowered to make more educated decisions as they continue on their path of life.